And we are back into more Dota 2 Asia Championship 2015. We are in the Asia Qualifier. Nice little combination of Southeast Asia and the China scene in this huge round-robin pool. Lots of games happening, obviously. We got like, what, 3 or 4 matches constantly happening simultaneously. Kind of similar to how we had it once at TI4 during the qualifier phase. So non-stop actioning happening from top to bottom. If you don't got it here on BTS 1, it's probably over on BTS 2 and BTS 3. So, over here, though, we got a nice matchup for you. It's going to be LaiGaming taking on eHome. LaiGaming coming into this matchup 5-5, while eHome sporting a nice 8-2 record. They were undefeated up to 8-0 at one point, but they did go down previously to CDEC, who are currently the kings of this round robin, sporting a nice 14-4 record. Man, they look good. Anyways, bring you the English coverage here on BTS 1 is going to be myself, KotLGuy. F4L unfortunately did have to step out at the last moment. He was not feeling so well, so I absolutely want him to go and feel better. So it's just going to be a nice one-on-one adventure between me and all of you sweet faces out there. I hope everyone's doing good and enjoying the Dota that we're having here. I assure you once again, my in-game mic is on, and it should be bouncing. If there's any sort of lag, connection, camera issues, it's the server and me trying to connect from my little apartment in New York City all the way across to the Shanghai or wherever they're trying to sport up the server right now in that pesky firewall. Anyways, I don't want to go too much longer, but, you know, LaiGaming, they're coming off, unfortunately, a 0-2 loss to the Immortal Magneto Gaming Squad. My God, that's a great team name. Immortal Magneto Gaming. That's pretty awesome, not going to lie.
Reserve time.
Anyways, well, let's go ahead and talk about the draft here. It's already well underway. The first pick was in favor of eHome, and they use it to get that Juggernaut. And that's the Juggernaut that everyone freaking loves, am I right? This is a hero. I feel like I always repeat myself whenever I see this hero, but he's a classic. I mean, his skill set has not been changed for so long. It's just more of changing those numbers. And, well, IceFrog has changed the numbers so much that it's actually gotten the attention of pretty much everyone on every team across the globe. This hero is being utilized all over the place, and with good reason. His base attack time is absolutely absurd. And, you know, with those quick attacks comes easy CS. His ward was already so good and potent for pushing lineups or just self-sustain. His spin, of course, allows him for easy escape. It's a regular BKB in its own right. Hell, if you got a good lane you're going against, you can level it up and go from early pickoffs. And his crit was recently buffed up from 15 to now 20% at level 1. People had already been leveling this up only once just to really utilize it. Now that 1 point becomes that much better. And he's frankly become quite the core player, or the core hero in its own right. So we'll see how it works out here in the hands of eHome. They also followed up with a Disruptor grab and a Clockwork now on the side of LaiGaming. They grab up the first grab Lion Invoker duo, followed up with a Visage, and now a Spectre. So LaiGaming's lineup seems almost like a bit of a hodgepodge here. A lot of teams really been favoring this Lion grab. He was buffed up also a little bit. His base damage was boosted. Some people, I know like Owie, personally toyed with the idea that this hero could also be possibly utilized as a mid-core. We haven't seen it lately, but it's just that the idea that it could be done now. Regardless, I mean, there's always some fantastic work you could say with Lion. Excellent CC and lockdown, and it's instant. You get Lion a Blink Dagger, and he's a fantastic initiator. Invoker, you know, he adds a lot here. He's got great crowd control. It's looking like possibly he'll go with a Quas Exort. Something like that could work nicely here. It actually works against the Clockwork, who goes in for any sort of jump cog setup, and then he could be susceptible to any sort of Sunstrike. Visage being picked up here, and without the Drow, you know, Visage is always a great support early on. His Soul Assumption is like one of the most ridiculous nukes in the game to start with, plus Grave Chill sets up for some easy slow. And Spectre seems to be the grab for the potential late game. So LaiGaming possibly looking to take this into the long journey. And the late respect ban, I love it on Phoenix. If you didn't already know, Phoenix had been a popular pickup here from eHome, specifically in the hands of Inflame, their captain. And he loves those unorthodox heroes. So, you know, he's not going to get the idea of picking up a Phoenix. It is looking like he's going to need to get his own pick here for the potential. Maybe not. Maybe he's going to be the Clockwork, but, you know, we'll have to see here. So let's look at the possible synergy here. Also, TA was picked up. So Templar Assassin potentially be going
remaining.
mid against this Invoker. Could be a bit worrisome here for the Invoker. TA is one of those kind of lane
Reserve
dominators
time.
who's able to throw together not just great CS, but ridiculous amounts of denies. So we'll keep an eye on the CS chart. If she could throw together so many denies, it would really shut down Invoker. I know it works good against Invoker. It works good against like Pucks as well, who are really relying on being able to put together that good XP and, you know, look to ball out of control. It's going to be a little trickier here against the TA. Now LaiGaming with their last pick, they're going to quickly snag up the Doom
Radiant
here.
team pick.
Doom, huh? Doesn't seem like a natural counter to anything on eHome directly, but it is a Doom after all, and as long as he doesn't get shut down too hard in his laning phase, which it looks like he could be the off-laner here, he should have a relatively good time. Unless they want to go aggro with this lineup. That is a possibility. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see. LaiGaming, though, their lineup
10 seconds remaining.
seems to be a bit different. Their usual top picks usually consist of the AA, Ember Spirit,
remaining.
and the Jug themselves, but they haven't really gotten any of those. Even Troll and Axe has been something that
Reserve
they've
time.
fallen back on. But this is a new, fresh kind of a lineup. Maybe trying to find their... Oh, well, speak of Axe, look at that. I talk about unorthodox grabs. Well, maybe nowadays Axe is not much of an unorthodox grab. We've already saw it Actually, we've seen it every game so far. Huh. So Axe is like... definitely a new... Him and Juggernaut, man. They are like the serious flavors of the month. And we see it here. Captain Inflame immediately grabs it and puts it for himself. And that's going to round out our draft. So who do you guys got? According to Dota 2 Lounge odds, LaiGaming are only 20% favorites here, going against eHome's 80%. And, well, to be honest, I would have to wager that this is probably pretty justified. eHome are looking pretty damn good. Don't be confused by their different names, by the way. It is a mix of the... It's a
10
China-Malaysia
remaining.
mix, I guess you could say, consisting of, you know, Mushi,
5 seconds
ZYF,
remaining.
Ohio's in there as well, and Inflame, of course, with DDC. So it's a bit of a hybrid group right now, and they found some pretty good success. And we'll see how they do here for this game. Oh, forgive me as I'm going to do this little config load. Help me out with my... There we go. Nice extra bit of camera control. Especially if I'm going to be
Prepare for
solo. I'm
battle.
going to need all the help I can get. But here we go, folks. We're going to hop in. This is a two-game series right here in this round robin. Just game number 1 of eHome taking on LaiGaming. And we'll just hop into some introductions here. On your Radiant side, it's going to be the eHome boys. And OU is going to be playing your Clockwork. Of course, OU is actually Ohio, formerly of, you know, Titan and Team Malaysia and wherever pretty much Mushi is gone. He's going to be playing your Clockwork there in the off lane. Mid lane, it's going to be Fang. And, of course, Fang is actually Mushi. So Mushi's Templar Assassin, and he continues his trend of playing different heroes like every game. He doesn't really like to sit down on any sort of hero. He likes to mix things up. And I know he was notorious for doing that even back at TI3. I think he played like the deepest variety of mid laners you could ask for. So just continues that dominant mid lane trend of changing it up. And, of course, the trend of pauses certainly doesn't stop here, as it looks like LaiGaming are going to need an early timeout here. We'll just continue to do our long-winded introduction at this point. Why not, right? Inflame is going to be playing your Axe, the Captain Inflame. DDC playing your decked-out Disruptor. I love Disruptor. Yang, who is ZYF, or ZYF if you're gods, I suppose, is going to be playing your Juggernaut here. And look for him to really zone back this Doom. I said it in the draft, Doom being the offlaner, he can have a struggling laning phase. He might even have to forfeit this lane and go to the jungle if it doesn't work out. So we'll see how long he wants to plan himself here. It could be a tricky lane for him. But on your Dire side, trying to take it to your eHome favorites, it's going to be LaiGaming. We got 5,400 here. He's playing your Lion. Super is going to be playing your Visage. No, that's not the Super from Vici Gaming. That's a different Super. XDD is going to be playing your Spectre. Mid lane, we're going to have Secret, another different Secret. I actually don't know who this Secret is. I knew the last Secret was actually Polo, but for now this will be Secret, sporting the popped collar Invoker here in the mid lane. And finally, it is going to be XZ, it looks like, playing your off-lane Doom. So another pause here, of course, as we slowly get underway, but we'll look at the lane slowly develop here, and I don't know if Inflame is looking to go right for the jungle. He does have 4 tangos and 1 healing salve with a stout shield. It leads me to believe he wants to just kind of go right into that jungle and find the CS. I don't think he's going to be threatened too much early. It's not like Visage really roams a lot and doesn't really add pressure in the jungle. He might just kind of opt to stay and babysit this Spectre. Maybe Lion. Does Lion have a smoke? He certainly does. So we'll look for Lion to kind of go on the early rotation. And he already plants down this Obs ward right in the lane to get that extra bit of vision. And as you can see here, Ohio has already pulled out the cogs early. He's going to try to get that Creepolibrium back by the tower. Not as good as the Dire side as far as offlane for Clockwork, but certainly can get the job done here. We don't see enough Clockworks as of recent. It's a great initiator, great on setting it up, but you got to make sure you have the farm and you got to make sure you have the tank ability to survive the potential. You know, you're going to be putting yourself into the mix. You better be able to take an ass beating, that's for sure. Mushi's got his early block on, doing pretty good. It looks like Secret has a slight edge on the block, and the bounty runes were already. Are they already? Yeah, they were already snagged up. It's funny because some mid laners actually prioritize going for the early bounty rune over going for the block, just because of its recent buff. You know, it's going to be 2 bounty runes, but they're at 100 gold and 100 XP. Certainly takes you halfway to level 2 right off the bat, so sometimes I've seen teams even have their supports block out the mid lane for them, and they go and get a protected bounty rune and walk back to a blocked out lane. Sometimes I see them not even bother. And that seems to be the case here. Looks like XDD has reconnected to the game, so this pause shouldn't last too much longer. And Dian now Kai, whatever that means, I hope that means let's get going. Let's have a good match and let's have a good time. Alright, so look at this. XZ is gonna, I don't know if he's gonna just he is stepping away from the off lane. Blocks out the pole, grabs a tomato, walks away in flame now nearby. Does notice this, so he's not gonna have that camp to work with. I guess Doom will just take that little bit of farm while he can and just walk himself back to the lane, but DDC is gonna be like, you are not gonna have an easy time. I'm gonna start zoning you back. Hey, how you doing? There's your Thunderstrike. Get the hell away. And this is going to allow their Jug to, of course, continue to farm up in the lane. And this is good for your ZYF. Mid lane, we're expecting Mushi to put on a really good CS game, but it's not going to be too easy. You already have the early Blade of Attack here on your Invoker, so as he pushes for those phase boots, and it looks like he's going to go with the Quas Wex build. He already has 1 level in the Quas, so he's going to use that extra bit of muscle power to certainly help out. But we'll see here. Early battery assault, as you can see the Clockwork here. Slowly getting zoned back little by little. Lion's going to be one to pull back the creeps. He does still have his smoke. I like that. He dropped the smoke on the ground to make sure they don't see he has the smoke. That way it's much more of a surprise when they actually pull it out. And with that said, the Doom has actually forfeited that bottom lane. He just goes right back to the jungle. So this is a lot of free farm now for your Juggernaut. He went early boots. Probably didn't even need to. But we'll see what kind of build he goes for. Typically, it's right into the Mask of Madness, and build on it from there. Maybe drums for a little bit extra mobility. I see some people favor the Omni Slash and continue to go for the Agnum Scepter, but some people could also feel like the Omni Slash is just a bit too unpredictable. Yeah, if you find the right time to kind of go for a one-on-one isolation, it works great, but sometimes you can't really bank on a great Omni. Especially when you're going against this kind of a lineup, especially someone like Spectre, who could always get a Manta style, and plus her ultimate makes things that much more difficult. XDD is going to have his work cut out for him, though, to kind of make sure he farms up, because he still has a little bit of contention in this lane. And no Rocket here early on, but Ohio, they come in from behind. There's the early Hex, Dagger as well. Pops his Battery Assault and Cogs, which is going to block the other 2 out, but look at Spectre cut him off at the pass, and that's going to be your first blood. 5400 picks up that and gets that little bit of bonus gold. Nicely done there. They actually find a kill in the lane. Ideally would have gone to Spectre, but still, very nice takedown nonetheless. This little bit of extra vision certainly does pay off for him. Touching base with CS, Mushi's at 13-7 to Invoker's 8-4. So when we're talking about lane domination, like we said in the draft, this is pretty much Exhibit A here. You can see he is putting together not only some good CS, but also the denies are slowly coming on through. And while Invoker's about halfway to 4, Mushi's on the same base there. So he is getting the upper hand as far as farm goes. Doom is throwing together his Tranquil Boots, and he continues to work in the jungle. Jug, obviously, with his free lane at 20 and 10 CS, the highest CS there is. He's having a really good time. Let's look at him flame here. He's going right for those Tranquils. He's jungling. He's having a good time. And DDC is going to be doing some stackage, it looks like, from the high ground here. But look at this. There's that smoke finally popping out here. Even Doom is looking to get involved. I guess without having his lane, he'd love to get more. Uh-oh, Ohio immediately hexed up. He could be in trouble once more, and I don't think any help is coming. It looks like Ohio will drop again. Look at that. Doom is able to pick up that kill. Maybe a nicely timed level death. No, he doesn't even have level death. He just gets it done. All right, good grab for him. So now already LaiGaming lead off the game 2-0 right at the start. Not good for the favorites coming into this one, and certainly not good for Ohio on his clockwork. He's definitely struggling a bit in the early game. And on the other side for off lane, Doom, who's not even involved in his lane, is definitely coming out with the better there, getting that kill. So he'll keep going on it up. Meanwhile, mid lane, Mushi at 21-13 CS with Invokers 13-6. He's got his phase boots together though, so there's that. Ohio back again. It's 5 minutes though, so it's not like the rune's popping up. I'm not too sure what he's waiting for here, but he's back where he once was. Maybe he's trying to leech a bit. Yeah, he sees. Okay, I get it now. I get it. I see what you're doing, Ohio. They have the vision up here. They know Doom is doing these creeps, and he's trying to sap a bit of that XP because his lane is just pushed too far forward. He can't afford to go that far deep, so if you got to find some XP somewhere, you might as well come over here and get it. So Doom is trying to pull the creeps back, though, way from the leeching there of Ohio. So Ohio gets a little bit of XP, gets his level 3, and he will take it back to lane. Has yet to invest that point, but we'll see where he goes. Look at this, 5,400 clarity up right now. Waiting behind Secret to see if maybe Mushi is to pop up here, but Mushi's already working with the side pull camp, farming that down. Pops his invis, and moves on forward here. So if he goes close enough, he'll see Lion waiting behind. Or maybe he's hoping to find Doom in the jungle, but Doom is actually already on the way out, so he's not going to find anyone there. And maybe instead we'll kind of step back. What's he got on the way here? Oh, his phase boot. All right, nice little phase, and it's going to be the 6-minute rune, which is a bounty there at the top, leaving the DD there at the bottom. Look at this guy, though. DDC plants a very aggressive ward behind the mid tower. And they smoke, and it's spotted because of that ward. Very nicely done right there. They didn't ping it, though, so hopefully Mushi saw that.
Grin.
I'm sure he did, though. So, very nice ward there from DDC. It's going to prevent this smoke, hopefully, from coming out to anything. I say that, but okay, there we go. Ohio's like, ew, where is everyone? I should stay back. Play it cautious. I've already gotten a little too overzealous in my lane and going for the bottle, but look at this. Uh-oh, they're still coming in from behind. Nice bottle scout, or nice rocket scout, rather. 5,400 is not going to get anything. He probably even saw that ward go down, but they planted an aggressive ward themselves, and they walk away.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And now they look towards Mushi here, or Feng, if you will, in this mid lane. And he's playing a nice position here, staying low by the tower in case they are to come in from the north where they were scouted. And just like that, LaiGaming's smoke attempt is going to amount to nothing. And Doom is going to have to step back to his lane and continue to farm up. It looks like he's going to build for that Midas, like you do on your Doom. Well, let's go back to bottom. We haven't really touched down here in a while. Jug is at 48-38. My God. He doesn't have anyone that he needs to deny for, but he just likes getting denies or something. 50-38. Holy Toledo. Got his magic wand. Leveled up in a 1K gold. Meanwhile, mid lane here. Mushi's getting a bit close. He does have proper vision on the high ground, so... Or no, sorry, they have the vision up on the high ground here, so they can see Mushi from the other side as far as if anyone's going to be there behind. Ohio's just out of view from that ward. Oh, timid play here. They want to converge. I know the second I move my frickin' camera away is when they're going to make that jump. So I'm going to wait it out. 8-minute rune does pop up, and 5,400 is like, nah, you're not getting that rune. But Ohio is going to get it. Walks away from that tornado EMP, so even though Mushi's not going to benefit from it, his buddy Ohio will be able to grab it. Takes it right back to the lane. And bottom in flame, who's also been very quiet, man. He has had a full jungle to work with, and he's got near 1,800 gold. He's going to have a beautiful time on this Blink Dagger. And he's just holding that Invis rune and maybe scouting to see if there's going to be any sort of easy snag. But I think he should just take that rune and just go back to jungle. Oh yeah, he's going to have his Blink Dagger pretty dang quick. And that's when we're going to see some fireworks really come out. So if we got to calculate the amount of lanes, maybe LaiGaming are getting a lot out of this top lane, taking down Ohio a couple of times. But I'd have to say Mushi, 39 and 18 here. Actually, he's relatively even here with Invoker at 36 and 20. So they trade pretty even. That might have been because Mushi had to play a bit more timid because of those rotations, but maybe a bit of a wash there. But Juggernaut, and he's the one that benefits the most from this early game. And now he's going after this tower. Just no one cares about this Jug. Oh, doesn't get the last hit though. That's unfortunate. But he'll continue to farm it on up. But look at his build. This is what's interesting to me. Now, I'm just a caster. I know I'm not a pro player, but he went 4 points into Blade Fury. 4. And for knowing that he's not really going against anyone in this lane, I find that a bit peculiar. Normally you see people just continue to level up the stats just so the right click is that much better. Or maybe level up the crit. But no, he's going full max into Blade Fury. Maybe he feels like I'm getting so much solo XP that I know my Blade Fury is going to do tremendous amounts of damage against this LaiGaming group that don't nearly have as many levels as I do. But we'll have to see. For now, playing it patiently. Look who's coming in from behind, though, with that Blink Dagger. Inflame. He wants to make a good Blink debut, preferably with a dunk.
Still not as swift as the speed of my thoughts.
Oh, well then. Back at mid lane, Invoker actually picks up an urn here. And with his haste, he is dancing about this mid lane. DDC getting a bit of time to do a little solo farm, and Mushi is actually taking on this double stack. Relatively early to go for this ancient work, but hey, he's got the damage certainly. Plus 104 with the meld, why not? DDC gets zoned back briefly, you see there from the EMP, but Invoker will take this time to head back to the jungle. And Inflame is still, I'm sure, pretty itchy to try to get something done with this Blink.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But this is two eHome players who pretty much are just getting what they want out of the early lane. And Spectre's third in net worth. Does have drums, does have phase boots. But yeah, overall, very quiet game here. Only those 2 takedowns of Ohio here at the start. At about 11 minutes in. Nice. Nice little rocket right there. It doesn't prevent the pull, but he knows what's going on. And look at this smoke. Okay, finally, Inflame. Here it comes. Spectre is going to be in trouble here, trying to do the side camp. Pops in, gets the call with the meld. It's just going to be easy work, and Mushi ends up taking down that one. Inflame doesn't even need to use the Culling Blade on that, and it looks like eHome finally do get themselves on the board. And of all the people to take down, Spectre, certainly one of the better grabs to
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Visage has found his own time to build to get his farm, or at least his levels. He's got his birds here, and with that smoke he bought previously, they want to put it to use.
Dire's top tower
They head right
is
towards
under
the top.
attack.
This ward still out. Wasn't close enough, it looks like, to scout out the smoke. Or maybe it was. eHome are
Dire's bottom tower
very
is under
timid right
attack.
here. They pull back, and it looks like another LaiGaming smoke thwarted. We'll see, though. Or maybe eHome bait with it. They have everyone here getting involved, even Jug. And Ohio with this level 6. He might bait forward here. Scouts with the rocket. And the jig is up. And we'll see here who really wants to take this fight. I don't think this is going to be a comfortable one for LaiGaming. Disruptor's also level 6, so that Static Storm could be troublesome. Level 3 Glimpse also, nothing to scoff at.
Dire's top tower
Everybody's up here. It's a 5-on-5 in the top lane. Hook shot catches, 5400 there in the woods. He gets cogged up, the ESP does fly out. Spectre pops out the ultimate, and, well, a rumble breaks out right here in the mix. Clock is going to be dropping there in exchange for the Lion. Doomed up right now is going to be the Jug as he walks on out. Inflame, though, under the tower, gets one slam. Takes down the support Visage. Meanwhile, back and behind, you can see Jug waiting for this Doom to glitch off, but wow, what a glimpse right there. XDD going to get slashed out with that Omni. The Doom finally wears off, and Juggernaut very happy to grab that kill. That's 2 takedowns now of Spectre. Mushi walks away with the tower, and eHome come up big in this top lane exchange. Very nicely done from them, and what a glimpse coming out from DDC. LaiGaming were just hoping to kind of get a pick off, or at least a strong initiation with that smoke, but eHome, man, they got the game sense, and they got some good wards down. He's a aggressive wards. Very similar to like how Way Too Sexy likes to do his wards in the North America region. Loves to go really deep and place down those aggressive wards that you really don't suspect, so you kind of get caught doing smokes and doing early rotations. But it's 4-3 now. Uh-oh. Ohio sidesteps it, fine, but Inflame jumps right through the middle, gets a hold of Secret right now, and oh, the meld comes through. Can I get a chop? Nope. But Inflame will still get the kill rather regardless, maybe with a lingering spin. And my goodness, LaiGaming's Lion actually pulls together an immediate Blink Dagger.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's actually quite surprising. He actually even went down in that top lane. So I guess just kind of going for boot straight Blink. I mean, Lion is one of the best at being able to jump in with that Blink Dagger, but here we go. Look at it cut off and go on. Another jump in from Inflame, and it just happened from top to bottom. Inflame now with a killing spree. He had to wait a little bit to put that Blink Dagger to use, but the wait certainly does pay off. They take down the Spectre again. 0-3 now. Trying to find something with an exchange, though. You can see bottom lane Super with his Visage trying to do a little bit of damage on the tower with the birds, but it's just them trying to wait and see if anyone comes. Someone does. Two people do. Jug shows himself here. Gotta be careful. Moving in is going to be the Doom, and he does drop the Doom and the Static Storm in exchange, though. Jug is not going to be able to make it away from this one, and, well, DDC might also go down. He does send Spectre back with that glimpse, and Mushi shows up to kind of zone them back, so they only lose one. Uh-oh, Visage trying to walk away, pops the wand, but not going to go too far. Nice jump in there from Ohio, and it's going to be Mushi who secures it. Killing spree for him. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Still in favor of LaiGaming being able to take down that Jug, but certainly doesn't help with Mushi's going to be grabbing those kills. He's going for a Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade TA, huh? All right. I don't know. Maybe it's been his build-up, and I just haven't seen it, but very intriguing nonetheless. So look at the mobility. You get a Blink Dagger and a soon-to-be Shadow Blade. Fun stuff. Inflame, man. With those kills and with those dunks, he's managed to throw together a nice little Force Staff. And you can tell by the net worth. Yeah, right there. Pretty dramatic for eHome. 7,500.
Radiant's middle tower
16 minutes in. XP about the same. Very, very good. And Lion here, he does have a smoke. He's itchy to put his own Blink Dagger to use, but oh. That Shadow Blade. Mushi. Oh, man. This is Mushi.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe too nervous. Maybe he doesn't know if there's going to be someone else nearby in the jungle. I mean, there is. But look who's converging. Juggernaut comes in. Mushi, misses. The blink forward already comes out. They might get Jug here, and they do. All right, so nice blink over top. They don't know it yet, but Mushi's still here. They get another takedown of the Jug. Uh-oh. Mushi's trying to quickly take down Visage and can't do it. So he has to blink away, so a bit of time wasted there for Mushi, and he tries to get Jug to converge, which ends up being Jug losing his own life. I guess they just weren't anticipating how many LaiGaming were there in the woods, but they lose another. Broadsword, huh? Clockwork. Oh, he's going for a Blade Mill. Okay. Blade Mill grab for him. That's cool. I like that. And DDC, who's been more the selfless one. Throw together his arcanes. Very selfless one. Who is this? Who is the secondary support on this team, really, though? I guess it's Inflame, but you wouldn't think so by the items he's got. So this is like a hard position 5 disruptor, getting all those wards. You know, being the ward bitch that some of us need to do. But even him, he's been involved in a lot of these skirmishes. He's got nice setups, and he's got good levels. He's level 8, level 4 glimpse. So the setup is there. And it does look like Yang is going to be leveling up the Blade Dance here on out. Pops the ward, and it looks like they'll converge and go for this tier 1 tower in the mid lane. And yeah, he doesn't go Mask of Madness. Goes a bit outside the box, gets the straight Yasha grab here. But they will secure this tier 1 tower, it looks like. Secret on the Invoker. Relatively quiet this game for a Quas Wex one. This is the point when you're looking to go around and maybe try to get some quick grabs, but he's still 1-1. Did he just... Yeah, I guess he just didn't want to use his TP there. All right, well, he'll farm up the woods for now, but don't overstay your welcome. There's trouble nearby. Oh, they ping it about. If you have vision, he'll glimpse him back. Oh, doesn't need to glimpse it now, but... Ooh, good blink out from Lion. That could have gone sketchy there if DDC wanted to pursue.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Clockwork here on bottom gets a bit of solo farm, but looking to converge is all of LaiGaming. They move forward, they get their stun, they get their EMP. Ohio is done for. Nice last hit comes through for XDD on his Spectre, so he does get that touch of farm. And they go right for this tier 1, all the meanwhile Mushi pushing in for the tier 2 top, going for a trade, and Jug farming up this mid lane. Meanwhile, they could also go on DDC here.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
In behind, they don't have the vision. They do plant down their own aggressive ward over here.
Dire's structures are
Oh,
fortified.
nice glimpse, 5400. I bet you wanted a TP there, but DDC says nope. Sorry, buddy.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now, Mushi has a little bit more time to work with in this top lane. In fact, look at this. Jug is looking to get involved. Let's do it, boys. Let's push this tier 2, and they'll get it.
Tower is under attack.
And Jug takes it.
Dire's top tower
What did he
has
buy?
fallen.
What is this? What is this? What'd you got? What? Oh, he's going right for a Manta. That's good. If this Invoker wanted to put together an Orchid at some point, Jug's going to be happy with that Manta. But then again, there's always that Doom. But who's the appropriate Doom target? It had been Jug. Maybe it will continue to be Jug. And speaking of which, Doom XZ, he's continuing to build up, trying to get a hold of the Agnum Scepter. He's got 2 components, enough for a third, but about 500 away
Dire's
from
middle
finishing it
tower
off.
is under attack.
And with that, eHome are going to move right into the Roach Pit. And it's immediately pinged out. LaiGaming know this is happening, but Mushi, with his hard-hitting right-click of the Shadow Blade, mind you, feeling like they can take it out quick. Look at this, Ohio looking to interject on their convergence. Secret could be in trouble here. He pops his Blade Mail, and he himself will go down. But that Static Storm, oh, is it going to take down Invoker? It will be. A 1-for-1 trade that does benefit eHome. And they don't finish off the Jug. They take it down to about 3rd life, and they look to maybe take a fight, but I guess now with Invoker down, they will finish off that. Ah, look at this. Axe. Oh, free birds. Leonard Skinner.
Roshan
That's
has
free bird,
fallen
right? Leonard
to the
Skinner?
Radiant.
Maybe I'm wrong
No
there.
more need I trouble with death.
And it is going to be picked up right there. Jug. Or ZYF, if you will, by his appropriate name or his other name. Grabs up that Aegis and walks back. So successful eHome objective there. Grab their Roche. They even take down Invoker. And a couple of birds, too. Just part of the reason what makes Axe so good in this lineup is he can get that free call on those birds, and that's free money in his pocket, or anyone's pocket. So with that, he's throwing together a relatively late Vanguard, but nowadays with that Crimson Guard, it certainly does help. So is it a Crimson Guard lineup? You know what? I guess it is, because they say that Crimson Guard is, you know, really, really good against Illusion Gaming.
Dire's bottom tower
Spectre,
is under attack.
one of those kind of heroes. Axe being nearby could help out his support with that Crimson Guard, so her ult really won't do a whole lot. But eHome continue to move forward with their objectives. They take down the tier 2 here in the bottom lane, and they continue to add that pressure. They see that a couple of the LaiGaming squad are here at the top lane, not
Dire's
looking to
bottom
rotate
tower
quite yet,
is under
so
attack.
maybe they add pressure until they
Radiant's
force that
middle tower is
rotation.
under attack.
Spectre, though, desperate to throw together that Radiance. Almost has the Relic.
Radiant's
It's
top
in
tower
fair
is
timing.
under attack.
But when you look at already what eHome have on their side, not just for their cores, but even for their backstaff, it's hard to compare.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And eHome, I assume they will just continue to go and take down this last outer tower. They have the Aegis, so the ball is in their court as far as pacing for this game. And with DDC just kind of waiting behind as that babysitter, here comes the ultimate from Spectre. They actually get the takedown of Axe. Axe, what is he doing? He's trying to do a solo defense. I wasn't even expecting that, but in Flame, trying to be the lone defender here. Gets jumped and taken down, but it will end up being an objective trade. As Ohio will pick up the last hit on that tower the same moment. Invoker grabs that tier 1 on the top lane. Now, moving into the mid lane here. Jug with that Aegis, confident as ever. He's got 3k gold already, my god. Felt like he just got that Manta. Now he already has 3k gold. Very good. eHome pull back, and it's going to be a defusal grab. Okay.
Jackpot. Rock it on.
Extra purge, I suppose. Extra right click, extra damage, extra agility. And defusal was buffed recently. And they're going to smoke and go on the move for the last seconds, or I guess last couple of minutes. Last seconds. Wow, I really overestimated that. They really jump in. Oh, quick blink out. He's going to save that Lion. Inflame is not going to be able to get the call right there. But on the left-hand side, you can see a nice Omni Slash. Will be able to finish off the do. Good grab right there. Mushi picks up the kill. eHome continue their dominance in this one. You wouldn't think based on the kills it was as dominant as it is. But even though it's only 9-8, you can see that eHome definitely claimed the net worth here. Still have about another minute left on this Aegis. They will just trot down this mid lane and continue to add pressure.
Dire's middle tower
With
is
Doom
under
being
attack.
down, it makes it a lot easier here. Desperation to slow it down. There's your stun. EMP, tornado combo. Jug spins it off, continues to go to town. Now has that defusal on hand. Flame might wait and call these birds. No, he calls the allies. He's trying to draw them a little bit closer. 5400 blinks for it. Nice two-man stun there. Deafening blast, and they get Ohio. All right, LaiGaming put up a reasonable defense. Get the clockwork, and that's enough for eHome to step back. They know the Aegis is going to be expiring any moment now, and they don't want to push their luck. Or do they? Or do they? Mushi going all damage here. He's got a Demon Edge now. Who is this? They are maybe trying to scout out Invoker. Already on his way out. But hey, now they take over the jungle. And LaiGaming are just kind of pushed back into their base. At least the supports for sure. Spectre at least has her ultimate to kind of step back and go back into the fray. But for everyone else on LaiGaming, they're kind of stuck in the base here, and they can't really go out far to find farm whatsoever. So it's a struggle. Oh man, they make the jump on the bottom though. See if they can get a hold. They do. Very nice grab. Spectre trying to be able to farm out on the side. Nowhere is safe though. Even if you think you have the haunt to get out, not going to matter. They converge. They get a hold of Spectre. Now with her down, eHome continue their dominance here. And it looks like Ohio was going to build towards a force staff, a push stick. And Flame. I'm surprised they don't have a gem yet. They might as well just grab a gem so they can definitely just de-ward and be sure that LaiGaming have no vision. Force forward and blink is not enough range to catch up there with Super, and now Inflame could be in trouble, but with the hook in now, coming up from Ohio, he's going to isolate this Visage. Inflame tries to make way out. Spectre calls out the Haunt. Meanwhile, on the right hand, you can see Mushi going way in deep, maybe too far in. Does get bursted apart, and it's going to be eHome who come up short in that. Overstepping, trying to go for that initiation is Inflame, and they kind of get a little cocky, it feels. Mushi moving in with this Shadow Blade build, now Daedalus, does force TA to be a bit on the weak side. Man, she can hit like a truck, but she's as structured as a Pinto. And DD, or XDD, who now has the Radiance, farm out this bottom lane. And maybe LaiGaming can finally step out from the base into the light and find that farm. They actually smoke up and beeline it towards the eHome jungle here. Maybe looking to catch anyone out. They could end up catching out Inflame. Oh, they will catch out Inflame. Hi, how you doing, Inflame? Oh, before he even has the opportunity, 5400, jumps in immediately, but speaking of jump in, there's Ohio. Can they burst down Inflame? Even with the finger, he's able to force himself out, and he's okay. Inflame runs away, barely alive, will TP back home. Ohio also steps back, but here comes Mushi. Super, well, where's Glimpse? Glimpse? No, not close enough? Oh, come on. Glimpse? That doesn't matter. Just in case. Okay. He had the Thunder Strike, so I know the vision was there, but Mushi does end up blinking to the low ground and helping out. And he gets his kill. 11 to 10 now as far as kill score goes. Net worth has been dancing around this 7,500 mark for quite a while. Same with the XP. eHome just have that small, comfortable lead, while LaiGaming just continue to find what farm they can and try to defend home base. But eHome could just play the safe, wait for the next Roche to pop up, and go in headstrong with that Aegis. Touching base with Jug. He went for an ultimate orb. So we'll see if it's going to be, I imagine, the Lincoln Sphere, because of that frickin' Doom.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He does spot out Mushi here. Mushi working in the LaiGaming jungle. Forces Doom back. Probably going to go for the refresher next. Already has that Agnums. Who's this guy? XDD. Very nervous. Waiting up. Doesn't really know where eHome is. If we look at the vision, they have this one ward here. But that's about it. Here and here. So they don't know what the hell's happening on this bottom part of the map. Oh, the bird gives them vision. Now they know it's doing Roche. See. They know something's happening. And looking at their vision, you can see at eHome they have the ward up here. So if anyone tries to come through, well, nice free bird food there. They'll see it coming. But we'll see here. LaiGaming pop out the tornado. But ultimately, do they have the answer to prevent them from doing this? New set of birds is going to be pulled out now. Yeah, this could be a desperate jump in. They actually take out that ward on the high ground too, but here we go. Spectre calls out the ultimate. Meanwhile, Ohio jumps in from behind, trying to go on 5,400 now. You can see Spectre does converge onto the high ground right there, and they finish out that clockwork. Now Roche down to about third life. eHome's still desperate to try to take it here, but they're down a man. They're down their clockwork initiator here. LaiGaming may be feeling pretty good about this. They still have Doom available if they want to use it. And Evoker about to be all off cooldown. Maybe toying with the idea that they can go themselves. eHome have already pulled out from the pit and back into their jungle. Maybe waiting for the converge, jumping forward 5,400, but Static Storm very nicely put down. Inflame jumps in himself, gets the call on the Doom, and Doom could drop here and will drop. No Doom for you, sir, but FN or Miss Bang or Rushi also goes down in exchange. Seeker could get caught out here. Yang moves in, no mana for his Omni. Actually, he does. Yeah, he used it already, but there's the chop. Takes down one, takes down two. Huge team wipe happening right here for eHome. And with that, now they can move into the Roche and finish what they once started. Oh, LaiGaming. Had a nice start right there. They took out Ohio, but they tried to rotate through here. And eHome in a really good position, just simply waited for them to make the jump. And with that, EDC was able to lay down a very nice Static Storm, and with the follow-through from Inflame, more than enough for eHome to kind of clean house. And now,
Radiant's top tower
what had
is
to be the
under
most
attack.
dominating fight this game, eHome got to feel very comfortable. BKB now online here for Inflame's axe, and you can see Ohio able to put together his Force Staff. Meanwhile, mid lane, Mushi laying into this tier 3. They'll be able to drop it. Moving forward, 5,400 gets the Hex. Nice two-man stun. Finger going to be there, and they finish off Mushi with that level death. Very nicely done. Ohio does sweep in, 5,400, able to kind of bounce his way right on out. And they step back. Still Aegis online here for Jug if needed. Meanwhile, behind the lines, you can see DDC could get caught out in Radius Burn, but he is going to be forced forward, and he's okay for now. Not the same story, though, for Ohio. He will be taken down. Meanwhile, Inflame, the next one in the crosshairs for LaiGaming, going to be caught out. Very nice stun, and, well, with that, he is going to get trapped amongst 5. He does drop. Man, he really wanted to get that chop right there on 5,400, but not going to be happening. LaiGaming walk away with 3. eHome preserve their Aegis for now. And step back. Well, they do walk away, taking down that tier 3, so Rax is in that mid lane now exposed, but LaiGaming can finally take down this pesky mid-tier 1 tower. After this glyph. There you go.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
XDD picks it up. He's got his Yasha, looking to build forward for that Manta. It's a Spectre game after all. And Spectre in the late game against a Jug. I don't know if eHome want to risk the Spectre getting a lot of items. They might feel a little bit pressured, especially with the way they itemize, to maybe make sure they can keep building up these objectives. There's a DD rune at the bottom, by the way, so that could be a big rune for either side. Oh, Jug actually goes for the Scotty. Okay, not the Lincolns, I thought, to counter back the Doom, but instead, extra stats and that little bit of slow. And he's been falling short with mana in some of these fights, so I guess it does help there. Oh, sorry, there's a pause. At the same moment, they're making a go here on XDD. Ooh, awkward pause. I don't know what that means, but maybe he's lagging. Okay, oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this Spectre is going to be making it out of here alive. Not without a haunt at the ready and getting pretty dang close to that threshold. In fact, what is it? Level 3, 450, 568. One more auto attack. How you doing, XCD? Boom, bang, boom. You're done. See you later. Okay, Spectre down. Does have buyback, but is going to be out for another minute. eHome happy to push down this mid lane. At least force out the buyback, but more than likely add pressure onto the rack. With Aegis still on hand, they're going to strut their stuff as confident as ever. Light Flame trying to get a hold of those birds is welcome there from the tornado. And Jug will be able to finish off the ranged racks, and now we'll go for the melee. Really, LaiGaming can't do a whole lot. They really don't want to use this buyback. They're happy to kind of sacrifice a mid set of racks here. They try to allow the Spectre to continue to go back. Ooh, very nice glimpse, but no follow through for it. Jug gets his racks. Still doesn't have to use Aegis. And eHome pull back. Very good mid lane push for them. And LaiGaming clearly just want to stall out. My DD, says Flame. He goes back. He starts with a Vanguard, but he's not going to finish the Crimson Guard, it looks like. He's got a Perseverance. Maybe he is going to go for Lincoln's. Because if he gets it, he obviously can just hand it over to maybe Jug or Mushi or whoever needs it. I haven't seen Mushi get anything new in quite a while. It looks like maybe they'll push down this bottom lane. That Aegis has got to be coming up here in a couple of seconds.
Juggernaut!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Meatball going to be dropped. Yang continues to lay out his assault on the tower. This Aegis has got to be going here any moment. There's the stun. And they sap away a bit of that mana, and he walks away. They've got to know it's about over, so they won't continue this push. eHome could step back and wait for Roshan if they want to, or if they want, they can make a go. They're feeling it. This Aegis is still here, huh? There it goes, okay. It gets dropped, but it looks like it's going to be a while here. 5 more minutes before Roche will even be up. And LaiGaming will just kind of take this time to hopefully build up some extra farm on their Doom and on their Spectre. They need it. Ooh, even a Ghost Scepter picked up. Blink Forge Doom. Did he miss the level death there? I don't think it caught there. Oh no, the Refraction ate it up, that's right. But they can't pursue here. Ohio, that bodyguard, jumps right in and, well, I actually get the deny there. Mushi was going to go down, and very nice deny there. ZYF. Uh-oh, now he's in trouble. Aha, I gotcha! Coming out from the woods, XDD. Very nicely done. They take down both cores here. LaiGaming find a couple of kills themselves, and Doom has 5k gold.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Ohio trying to throw together that Agnum Scepter just to have that hook at the ready. And Disruptor actually stopped up for a Mechanism. I thought he was going to be going for something maybe like a Blink Dagger. But extra bit of sustain certainly doesn't hurt. Helps out with Doom, I suppose. In flame, though. Ooh, catches out 5400 with that vision. And now Ohio jumps in as well. Just an easy connection right there. The Bash Brothers, if you will. Move in, get a hold of Lion. Decapitate him. Nice little pick. Nothing too devastating, I guess, for LaiGaming. But there's your refresher now. On your Doom, so. Who is your Doom target at this point? Before Axe gets his Lincolns. Maybe throwing up one there on both Mushi and the Omni Knight. Not Omni Knight. I'm thinking Omni Knight because Omni Slash. On Mushi and the Jug. ZYF. Probably be your best options. But they step back and they continue to farm on up. Net worth still around that 75. We can't seem to break this 7,500 margin here for eHome. XP still dancing around the same area. And just game number 1 here of a 2-game series where eHome have already claimed a nice top spot, currently representing a nice 8-2 record. LaiGaming, a team that certainly could use a couple of wins here, sporting a 5-5 record, trying to break into the at least wild card area. Top 4 is a direct invite to the land, while the 5 and 6 position have to battle their way through the wild card and the other regions like Na'Vi and Power Rangers. Secure another land position.
Haste.
Haste gonna be snagged up here from Mushi. And they are just gonna play it slow. Roshan's got a little bit of time before it's up. We can look for both teams to really lay it down. But it's still LaiGaming who are wounded. Losing their mid lane continues to add pressure there. That means always someone has to be in the base. Oh, and they smoke up. Maybe feeling like Roche could be up any moment. They go right towards the pit. What's the vision like? They see... What do they see? Not much. They're going to swing in from behind. eHome are already smoked up themselves, going through the bottom. A wraparound. eHome could be caught from behind here if not careful. Uh-oh. Oh. Nice little alleyway is going to allow the Cog to bump them back. And there's Spectre calling out the ultimate. Jug caught in the corner right there. Going to be pulling out the spin. And now they go. Oh, Ohio gets wrecked right there. Deafening Blast, Meatball, and he should drop any moment. He's still alive. He's doing good. Static Storm going to be dropped there. He will end up dropping. But no one yet to go down LaiGaming side. There we go. They're making a move. Going on the Jug. Man is still in flame. Trying to get a hold of someone to chop right there. Spectre moves to the Jug to walk away from this one. Meanwhile, the Doom does fly out on the left-hand side. You can see Secret grabs another. Visage able to barely live. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, doomed up is Mushi. Doom gets sent back with that glimpse, and now DDC able to TP home and away from this 15400 though. Barely hanging on. They've already lost both the Jug. LaiGaming trying to hold on what they can, and they do. They clean out in flame and they come out on top. Big fight right here for LaiGaming. A questionable start right there, having to come in from behind, but it seemed to be all over the place there for eHome. They couldn't quite seem to synchronize as far as who to go for. LaiGaming really took advantage of that. They move in and go right for Roche. Doom has got to be careful. He's really low. Another rocket. He's in trouble. Hook shot in, and Doom goes down. All right, Ohio moves in, get the hell out of the pit. He even bumps up Invoker to the high ground right there. Oh, my God. Ohio moves forward. Oh, the glimpse. Oh, it's on cooldown. That's unfortunate. He's still up there. He is stuck. Oh, man. Invoker. They used the Static Storm, too. What is this? He's still okay. Doom is back. He used his buyback to come back, too. Still have a little bit of time, but by now, eHome are back and alive. They send back Spectre, not too far. And they still dance around this Roche pit. man, LaiGaming, they've already started this. They don't want to be walking away from it, but they might have to. Now below half life here. They put down a ward and they step back. And that allows eHome to just kind of sweep on in. So here we go. Spectre ult pops out once more. And there's kinetic field going to be popped. Spectre does come in. But they're still good. 5,400. Oh, jumps in, tries a TP, and oh, man. This gets absolutely slaughtered with that Omni Slash. Wrong place, wrong time for him. Clockwork moves in from behind. Visage ends up dropping, but you can see into the pit. Kinetic Field's going to lock Doom in his place. DDC getting tackled from those birds. Doom self goes up there to try to live, but Ohio already locks him in place, and then another Static Storm going to be dropped right there. Glimpsing back, Spectre, you're not going anywhere. Here it comes! Triple kill for Inflame as he chops down Spectre, and it's going to be a full 5-man takedown the other way, plus the Roche. eHome come up short in that previous fight, but man, they come out big there. Already a buyback coming out from Invoker. eHome, they're going to go right for the Rex. Spectre down 45 seconds, no buyback. Not looking good for LaiGaming. Machine ZYF just kind of move on in and quickly clean out. eHome on the verge of taking game number 1.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
They will cut all the way towards this top lane. 5,400's like, I'm in position for my final defense. But they have 15 more seconds before Spectre can come back. And then they still need to wait another 12 seconds or so on top of that before she even has Haunt. By then, it could be too late. Sheep there to try to slow it down, but Mushi also laying in the damage. And 400 moves in, but the Lincoln's going to be popped. Inflame, though, wants to pursue. Pops his BKB, moves in. Doesn't quite get the big enough call, but Mega's now could be unleashed here. Spectre comes back. Glimpse will send Spectre back. eHome walk away. They played a little bit safe. They get that tier 3 down. They do some nice damage onto the racks. And are narrowly on the verge of those mega creeps. But eHome at this point with Aegis in hand. And all the momentum. Finally we break that 7,500 ground and it really bursts up towards eHome's favor. But they step back, they itemize a bit more. You can see the Manta now comes up there for Mushi. And then they can go for the final hurrah to take it to LaiGaming there in the top lane. And if you're LaiGaming, you hope for a great solid last defense. With double Doom and Spectre. What looks like trying to throw together the Diffusal Blade. That is 2 Flads, by the way. I had to do a double take there. eHome pick up not 1 but 2 Vlads. DDC, maybe you could have got a Blink Dagger, but okay. Mushi waiting as LaiGaming push out the lane and waltz back. They know that their final dance could be coming at a moment's notice. eHome now move. They got to take advantage of this Aegis while they got it, so this is going to be them going for the final push. And what can you do? LaiGaming. Their Rax does heal up, but if they don't put up a good defense here, they might as well call it game. Desperate to clear out the wave before it gets in, though. Here we go. Jug waltzes right on in and goes right for the Rax. He gets that Lincoln's aid from Inflame. Will be fine for now. LaiGaming playing footsie with them, trying to force him back. No one looking to go for the commitment quite yet. You want to do something before this Aegis does expire. And how's the buyback status looking? Oof. Not really anyone. No one at all, actually, on the side of LaiGaming. This is definitely their last hurrah. Forward. And that's a Lincoln's pop right there for the mana drain. So, didn't have to waste anything important. But the slow siege coming out from eHome and their Mantas is going to slowly wither down this ranged Rax. And there it goes.
Dire's top barracks
Last
has
rack
fallen.
standing here for LaiGaming between Mega Creeps. Well, XDD will try to push out this bottom lane with Haunt on hand. Can always get right back into the mix if needed. But eHome's slow siege continues here. Even the mana drain to come out to try to get rid of some of these illusions. There it is, jump and catch. They're trying to pull Invoker back, and they get him pulled into an Omni Slash, and he goes down. Very nicely set up right there from Inflame. Omnis, or Invoker's out, 80 seconds. No buyback for him. No Aegis now, though, for Mushi. But only one more Rax, I think. They can go in, 5,400. Steps forward, gets the stun. Doom's going to be there on Jug. He waltzes back. LaiGaming got to do something. They're waiting for a window of opportunity to show themselves. There's the blink in on Mushi. This is it. Stun Static Storm already. Spectre pulls back, but Inflame already takes care of Visage, who does pull out the buyback now. 5,400 ends up dropping. Spectre gets called back, and that's going to be it. LaiGaming throwing the towel. They've had enough, and eHome are going to be taking game number 1 here in this 2-game series. Very nicely played from them. And, well, what can you say? Both Jug in the bottom lane has the free will to build up whatever farm he wants. Inflame, who had played a, well, not much of a support axe, but pretty much has the full jungle to work with, gets a very nicely timed Blink Dagger and really begins to go off the rails. And pretty much it was eHome's game from the beginning. And we'll see here if LaiGaming can shake it off and come back for game number 2. I'm KotLGuy. If you want to show your support, please hit follow here on the Beyond the Summit channel. Of course, we have plenty of Dota action happening from all channels across. I believe Cyclops is casting on Beyond the Summit 2 and EGAD doing work on Beyond the Summit 3. And for myself, you can catch me on my Twitter at KotLGuy. I always appreciate your support and feedback, but we'll be back in just a moment for game number 2.